For Creamer Media's Polity, I'm Motsabi Hwayani. Joburg's most acclaimed slam poet Mandi Poefficient Vundla joins us at the Market Theatre to enlighten us about her art form and lyrical know-how.
A shack can't afford a plot of land to stand on corrugated feet, so homeless houses plant their struggles in gravel gardens where rotten apples grow seeds that run away from starving only to grow hungry on the streets. The black rose from a bed of thorns that left our petals torn. The roots of our mothers shoot to kill our fathers in Afurakan. The grass is dead, our roots no longer live there. My kind, mine, breadcrumbs beneath the surface of the bread line, nothing new under the white sun. Black absorbs the heat and we are still burning. The incense has lost its scent, our ancestors their strength, because we blacks have become too damn scared to unlearn apartheid. That school rings a sensitive bell when the second period of oppression is a language in Afrikaans you must pass for varsity to give you a chance. It's how multiracial schools you in classrooms groom a generation of Bantu English fools where restless motherless tongues aren't pruned. Colonized wombs bearing jungle fever baboons, they will call your cocoon like it grew in the middle of the Great Karoo. Then a Native Land Act swept you to the zoo, endangering our species. We're nearing extinction, so black child, vuka, your dreams seek to serve you proper breakfast, not just fat cakes. Cost-effective food is only effective for as long as it keeps you full. Freedom is the right to choose what to eat, the comfort to excrete without landing your feces on the streets. The long walk to freedom constipates my feet. It's a white lie sold to a black child with a burdened heart, because daddy's a security guard, watching buildings instead of building a better man of his son. Mother cleans the White House. No presidential pardon for these children of the slums, so textbooks get dumped. Young ones no longer raised by their grandmoms. Me, I want a white matron. She will serve my kids bacon in a greasy old apron. They will call her auntie, throw tantrums when they are hungry. Then we can talk about this equal opportunity when my garden boy is white, my garbage boy is white. All those on strike on a go slow are as white as snow. We can then bow to this bullshit of a rainbow. When the farmer can't stand to be called Bastion, so the farm boy simply calls him John. Tell me, when the CBD rocks Josie streets to sleep, what's the color of the skin inside the broomstick? Sweeping hopes and dreams past Konasawa and Brie, and desires to read past the dust outside the library gardens. Dear white sun, I beg your pardon for declaring clear white skies to my black rainy eyes when you claim to have never met any who feel inferior. The graffiti you left on my Facebook wall calling me a racist and a condescending cunt doesn't change the fact that you are who you are because of us. The bullets you aim at my raging tongue won't murder the truth. You're an inheritance of your father's sins, just like I am of Eve's. Yes, you weren't there in the struggle. I wasn't there in the Garden of Eden, but I bleed. Your apple doesn't fall too far from my tree, but you refuse to believe in white supremacy because our government is black. I've watched some of you turn your backs 360 degrees, still burns us blacks. Yeah.
Who is Mandi Poefficient Vundla? What draws you to poetry, and why did you choose this medium as your way of spreading your message across?
Usually I respond to that question. When I respond to it, I just say, I'm just a poet, really. I'm just a writer. I just put beautiful words together. But right now I'm realizing that I'm just like an ambassador of spoken word. Like I do more than just write behind the scenes. I ensure that I push wherever I see gaps, wherever I see a place where I feel like I need to put poetry here, or wherever I see a network or people that I feel that I could network with.
Why did you choose this medium as a way of spreading your message across?
It chooses you. It's like a spirit that chooses you, hey? Because I remember there was a point where I thought, art is a strain, it's a stress, you overwork yourself, this thing will never pay, you'll never go anywhere, let's just go and work, let's just do this, you know. It calls you. Slowly but surely you just start writing, and you find yourself I found myself in a space where I was writing and I was just like, okay, what is this? Really, what is this? And I started looking for platforms, poetry platforms, places where I could share my work. And then, funny enough, I encountered competitive spaces first. After I was on Facebook, I realized that, oh my God, there's a network of people out there who do this thing. So you start finding and you hunt down the spaces, and you hunt them down, and you find them and they're open, relaxed platforms, people are cool, but they're working. You're like, oh wow, I thought I was writing,
Really? Okay. Let's chill and listen to people who are really writing, and then let's see what we can pick up from them. The vibes that I picked up were that people were really serious about this art, and then it taught me to take it seriously as well. You know, start working harder because you start seeing that the level of writing, the level of expertise out there has surpassed anything you can ever imagine.
What inspires your creative process?
The world around me, the influences are good or bad. Actually, it's mostly bad because I write from a very dark space. I'm trying now to write from a place that is different from that, you know, to say, okay, now we understand that you can do this, but let's test other waters. Let's try and be in a happy zone and write from that and see if you can still deliver poems as well as you do when you write from this space. So this is just my challenge now. But yeah, life in general inspires my work.
What role do you think you occupy in society as a poet, and what do you hope your audience will gain from your poetry?
I realize that our society brushes off the truth. You know, we are in so much denial. We're in so much denial. And I realized this after I recite a poem that I don't necessarily think will impact the society as much. I'm just writing as Mandi on some, you know, this thing, young Tsiga, and this is what I have to say about it. So you start creating dialogues that you never thought that you could create. And it's about sensitive issues that our society tiptoes around, you know, certain poems that people call me radical, and I'm like, I'm not radical. And sometimes people think you're too harsh, and I'm like, you know what, I tell the truth. So it's not necessarily, if you have a problem with me, it's not me, it's the truth. You need to deal with the content. You can't be, I'm just a vessel, I'm just a portal, you know, where my spirit, and I always say poems write themselves, because you think and you kind of meditate on things that hurt you and that make you quite irate, but the words kind of like, I don't know what happens, like there's spirits in your head that are just saying, I think this word is better, I think that word is better, and you start playing with that. So we're just portals, we really are. It's the message that people have a problem with the content, and I'm like, you don't have a problem with me, you have a problem with the truth. So our society is in such denial. So that's the role of poetry.
Last year at the Word and Sound Festival, you were honored with Johannesburg's most prominent slam accolade as Queen of the Mic. What does this mean to you, and how do you integrate this reputation into your everyday life?
It means there's a place for women in poetry, firstly. Women were afraid of claiming that. I was even afraid of claiming that spot, but I thought personally it's not about competing with guys. It's about me, and this is what I want to do, and I'm going to do it. That's what it was about. I didn't realize I would manifest to that degree where now this is your moment, this is your time. After having struggled with competitive poetry for a while, because it derails you, where now you don't know how to write. Am I write for my audience? Am I writing for me? You have those like internal, personal struggles that you overcome. This year I'm realizing that more women are coming onto the Word and Sound platform because it's cutthroat. That platform hurts you before you even get on the stage. You sweat no matter how many times you've been on that platform, no matter how many times you've been crowned monthly. Every time you come back, whether you're defending your title, whether you won the title, it is cutthroat because everybody always ups their game. And basically it's like a developmental platform to say, okay, so that guy was crowned today, so now everybody's gonna gun Untaha down the next month. But you don't move away from your content, you don't move away from the writing element of it. You still have that. It just means that somehow your writing improves and it's compact. So yeah, man, I've grown tremendously. That's what that platform has done for me personally, and that's what it's done for women on a larger scale. More women are coming on the stage, and more women are reclaiming their position. That's good to see. Like, I feel like, job done, let's move on to bigger things now.
The metaphor, our poverty is the eighth wonder of the world, is one you widely use in your poetry. Can you take us through the details of its inspiration?
It's how our poverty is basically a tourist attraction. You know, it's like, okay, fine. You come to Soweto, you come to the ghettos, you come to the informal settlements, you take pictures of these kids, then what? Then what? Then these kids must jump up and down. You get them all excited for what? Then you go back to your country, and what do you do? Like, what's the purpose of all of this? I don't get it. And irritates me a great deal because I don't see why. What do we do after taking these pictures? And that's when that line came that our poverty is the eighth wonder of the globe. It's kind of like, let's go to Africa and see how poor all these people are. I remember when I performed that poem for the first time, it really hit people hard. So you see, when I say that poetry gives people room to also vent things that they have been thinking about, things that have been irritating them. Now you've just gone and you've just compressed it in one line. That's what I love about poetry. Poetry doesn't walk on eggshells. It really doesn't. It's just cutthroat, it's there, put it out there. Whether you agree or you don't agree with it, it's my reality, it's the life that I live, and it's what I see. So you can't disagree with my reality. Maybe this is not your reality, it's cool, but this is what I see, and it sickens me, so yeah.
That was Johannesburg's Queen of the Mic, Mandi Poefficient Vundla.